welcome along to my first Cubase Basics tutorial. Here we are, we've bought Cubase and you've double clicked on the Cubase 4 thing and it starts to load up. Slowly. Okay, so to create a new project you go up to the top left, File, and click on New Project. You have to decide what sort of project you want to use. We're going to use an empty project because we're sort of learning from basics, so empty, and just click on OK. And then you have to say where the project's going, so I'm going to put a new folder in my tracks thing and I'm going to call it tutorial. Great, OK that box, there's a little folder there and all of your audio and saved files will go into that tutorial thing. So you click on OK and here comes a new window which may look completely baffling to you. Okay, the first thing you need to know about really is how to create a track, and first of all we're just going to tackle audio tracks in this session. We'll come on to instrument tracks and MIDI tracks a little bit later. So we need a new track, and we're going to right click in this area here, click on Add Audio Track, and then you've got some options here. You say how many audio tracks you want and what the configuration is, whether they're mono or stereo is probably what you're most bothered about, and what speakers they come out of. Usually I don't need to touch those two, I'm just usually making one audio track and it's in stereo. Here we go. OK that. It's got a name here. For the sake of it, we'll start to produce some sort of hard dance beat. So I'm going to make a kick drum here. So I'm going to write kick just by double clicking on there and then pressing enter. We need to get a sound into the audio track. So we're just going to go up to the top here. Wherever the bar is, the play bar, is where the audio track will be imported to, although you can obviously drag it afterwards. So we're going to go to File, Import Audio File. Now I've built up a load of samples and stuff, so I'm going to go to my own sample pack here and go through the kicks and quickly audition them. So this will probably blow my head off. There we go. There's a kick. There's another kick. There's a really loud kick. There's a stupid kick. There's another kick. Okay, that's pretty good for me. I'm going to use this sharp kick here. So open. Just OK this box here. And a tiny little box has appeared here just where it says bar 1. If you drag the pointer along the top here and then pull down on your mouse, it will zoom in for you, which is great. And my shortcuts are H to zoom in and G to zoom out. Now this kick is in a little window of its own, and you can make that sound itself go within a block by making a part. Now you do that by left clicking this kick, then right clicking, and this whole list of stuff comes up. We're going to go down to audio and events to part, which means you could make a whole block that's a bar long. There's a bar. And now double click that block and there's the kick. Up here along the top is a snap tool. At the moment the snap is on, which we want to use because we're going to dump the kick onto the other beats. And there's also a quantize type. It's actually got a sort of shuffle on it. We'll come to that a lot later. But in essence this will dump your kick only within sort of musical, I suppose, accuracy. So we want to copy it. Now you could right click and probably find something here and go copy or duplicate, but I'm going to use a shortcut which is Control D. And Control D, there's another one. So going to drag that onto the next beat. I'm going to zoom out. So I H'd, no I didn't, I G'd right out of that, and Control D again to duplicate them. I'm just going to drag that onto the last two beats there, and we're just going to go to this top right box and close the kick part, and there it is. So we need to change the tempo, So we're going to go down to this. This is called the transport bar. And we're going to click on tempo, which unlocks the tempo. And we're going to just click on that 120 BPM. And because it's sort of hard dance thing, we're going to put in 145. If you're watching this and you're into house music, too bad. We want to loop around to see what this kick sounds like. Now down here are a load of functions: play, record, there's the loop, which they call cycle, fast forward, rewind, and these little arrows which jump to the markers. I'm going to put an area around here using the markers. The easiest way to do this is to click on the block and then press P on your keyboard. There you go. And it's made a little blue shaded area, which means if the loop is on, it will cycle round between that blue shaded area. Now just to show you a different function that the loop can do, I'm just going to Control D to copy these parts across, and actually I'm just going to drag this bar the wrong way and make it red, so now the locators are on the opposite end. If cycle's on, it'll actually jump over that part now, so it's just press play and see what happens. Handy thing to know when you're doing arrangements and you want to see what would happen if you skipped a section that you didn't like. So I'm selecting the first block, pressing P, going to highlight these other two and just press delete to get rid of them. Okay, so we need to know about the controls. With this arrow here, this is if you press number 1, you can see it selects along the top here. And there is a few different options whether it applies a time stretch or not, for instance. So if you hit 1 again and again, you can see a little clock appears by the arrow, and you can actually time stretch this block, and it would time stretch the kick really badly. I'm just going to use Control Z to undo that. The other really useful functions are 3 will chop this part up. At the moment our snap is on the bar command over here, the grid type, so we could put that to beat and then chop this into beats if we wanted to. If we didn't want to chop that into beats, if you hit 4 on your keyboard, it turns into a little glue thing. Of course you could be pressing them up here, but you'll find that the shortcuts save you so much time. So I'm going to use 4, turn it into the glue gun thing, and glue these all back together just by left clicking on the block. There's also the rubber. You can delete things like that. If you've done something terrible like deleted the whole kick, you can just Control Z and it will go back to where you were before. You can mute the part, which is kind of handy when you're sort of dealing with arrangements. So you can just click on it and it shades it out to show that it's not going to play. This pencil will create a new part even if you have nothing in it. You can use that for all sorts of things, but we'll get to that a bit later, probably with an instrument track. This line is useful more in the editing part. This speaker will show you what's going on at any part, on any part of the track. And this colour tool, I don't know what that does really. Green, great. Could have done that without the colour tool though. What are you going to do?